Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. So today we're going to be looking at a really special set, one of my favorites within my collection based on Return of the Jedi, that being set number 8038, the Battle of Endor. This set includes 890 pieces, originally retailing for $99.99 when it released in June of 2009. Now, I vaguely remember my dad buying this for me at Toys R Us back in the day. I remember getting this, coming home and starting to build it, and then all of a sudden I was missing the new R2-D2's headpiece, and that was just really annoying. Eventually I ended up getting it, but even so, I think this is a really great set for the time period and just something that's in dire need of a remake now. Talking about the box art, this is so nostalgic. The golden Star Wars logo. You also have the sort of like 1999 look for the original trilogy sets with the yellow flesh tones and just the more I don't know, the rounded look of these guys. I always remember thinking, wouldn't it be cool to see LEGO actually make them in this style? Something equivalent to the Revenge of the Brick. I'll put up a screenshot from that now. But anyways, this set was created to celebrate 10 years of the LEGO Star Wars theme, which we're quickly approaching the 25th anniversary next year in 2024, which should be very exciting. I'm not sure what LEGO has in store, but it does seem like they may be doing something to celebrate. But as a whole, I'm really pleased with the box art design, very nostalgic, and you get a nice bit of Endor in the background with your model from the front. Spinning around to the back side of the box, wanted to give you a look at the top with all your minifigures too, and from the back side you get all of your features for say the ATST, the Catapult, and even the bunker, which has quite a lot going on. One last thing that I have to say when it comes to this box design is the fact that it does open up like this, revealing a nice spot in which you can build the set if you want to build the set in here if you don't have like a tray or something. I really appreciate LEGO doing that back in the day. Taking a peek at our two instruction manuals, you get numbered 1 and 2, mimicking the front of the box. I had to tape these together a little bit because they're starting to fall apart. From the back of the first one, just transition, but from the back the second one, leading into probably one of my favorite advertisements to see in the back of these LEGO Star Wars sets back in the day with the Venator and Anakin's Y-Wing, and even with those 3 clones for that box art style, which was the other box art style available alongside these 10th anniversary marked sets. Get the Venator, which I have yet to own. I will be getting the new one that's releasing this year, so look forward to a review on that by the end of the year. Otherwise, I believe I have a review up for the Anakin's Y-Wing. That one may be a tad old, may have to redo that one sometime. Eventually we'll get to reviewing this, gotta eventually put it back together. Same goes with that. I think I've reviewed most of these. This one may be coming soon because I actually have recently built that. From the next page, you get your characters all named. I really miss when LEGO used to do this. Now from the back, you may see all of your minifigures, but they don't actually list their names within the instructions, which is annoying. And we also get your features, as you would also see from the back of the box. And your piece count. To start off our minifigure selection, we have Princess Leia in her Endor outfit, which remains exclusive due to that exclusive torso print with the camouflage look. I really love how that turned out, and the belt printing, which wraps around to the backside even with the little hoodie. Get a small gun for the accessory, those legs in the sand blue, which is a nice color to get them in. Facial expression being the same one that we've been getting since 2006, and that hairpiece being a brand new recolor for this particular set. You also get an accessory hole from the very top if you want to put something in there, though I don't know why you would. Overall, not a bad character, just a tad outdated. I know that they've done better in the future, and they've also done worse. Next up is Han Solo, who also came within the 2007 UCS Falcon, as well as the Death Star and an additional magnet set, which you'll also see 2 other characters from this set included in. As a whole, classic style for Han Solo. You get the printing from the front of the torso, and also for the belt and the gun holster. Get the regular old gun for the accessory, classic smile for the time period, and regular haircut style hairpiece for his minifigure. Chewbacca also in his classic design, that full brown look, no leg printing. And you also get the printing for the side bag across the body, which you'll see continue from the back side. And again, just regular old Chewbacca minifigure that we know and love from back in 2004. For the time period, we get a brand new dome piece for R2-D2 using the gray instead of the white that we've been getting for all the sets before that. The body piece will be the same one that first appeared in the 1999 sets with the printing from the front. And you can also just see how this dome piece has the same problems that we got off-center. The printing, it's sort of like leaning downwards. You can see that more so from the back than anything else. From the front it looks fine, and you get the regular old Technic connection for the legs, which allow you to move them. One of two Endor Rebel Commandos included. This one has a different facial expression than the next one that we're going to look at, but this face is still exclusive to this set with a nice beard. I mean, maybe they're trying to mimic that Captain Rex guy. Now that's supposed to be a white beard, so I don't know. It is a nice facial expression. It also does look like the same exact facial expression you're gonna see for the other guy, just with a beard and maybe some different colored eyebrows to match that beard. But anyways, brand new torso print, which you'll see on that other character as well. Under the neck accessory of a little backpack, which is covering up the back printing, which is a shame that they're covering that up because it does look rather nice from the back side, just continuing the style of the belt as well as the side artillery. Additionally, have to talk about these helmets, which were also brand new molds and I believe dual molds for the time period. I think those helmets turned out really amazing, and I believe nothing has changed with this mold up to this day other than maybe a part number. Speaking of that other Endor Rebel Commando, this facial expression actually appeared in another set before that, that being the Starkiller minifigure from The Force Unleashed. Really interesting to see it appear here. Torso piece is the same one you'll see on that last figure, and also the same helmet design, which is really great to get. On to our little fuzzy friends, we have Wicked, who is exclusive to this set. We'll get a brand new sort of head mold for him later on in the Ewok village. So for the time, this was a really great figure for me and probably one of my favorites. You get one accessory of this sort of stick thing. Not exactly sure what that's supposed to be. I mean, it's sort of like one of those like tribe stick things. I don't know why he has it. I think maybe the chief is supposed to have this accessory, but you build it like that in the instructions, so I wasn't gonna question it. And for those of you who are not aware, this uses the same exact design style as we see for Chewbacca when it comes to just covering up the body like that for the head. Again, another standout figure within this set, just because we haven't seen Ewoks in a long time, and it's really great to see how they were able to improve them by actually adding more colors and printing compared to the first ones that we saw. And lastly, we have Pablo, who also appeared within the Magnet set that you'll see that Han Solo figure and one other within this set. Moving on to the big bads of this set, we have our Imperial Trooper, which also appeared within the 2008 Death Star, which I also owned at the time. You get the same headpiece as you'd see on the Rebel Scout for the Alliance, and you get a brand new torso piece for the time period, which would also appear in a few other sets, only with the printing from the front though. Hat piece, really interesting hat piece, which they'd later on update to make even better. And finally, we have one of two Imperial Scout Troopers in this set. These would continue to appear in sets till 2011, and then get a really amazing upgrade to their helmet with the dual molding and such. They get the printing only from the front of the torso piece there, no leg printing like you'll see on the newer versions, and the plain black head underneath the helmet, as they can't really do anything else with that. The build for this set is really outdated. I mean, that's what I have to say about it. It's really great to get for the time period. It's probably one of my favorite sets in my collection just because it's something that we've never really seen again from LEGO Star Wars. It's something that I'm surprised we didn't see this year to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. I mean, there are just so many things that we could have gotten for that, and LEGO really just skimped out, I think. Starting with the speeder builds, you get 2 of the same speeders in the set, which I don't mind. I am also kind of surprised that we didn't see these appear within a battle pack at the time, because I think that would have been really cool to see these in a battle pack for some sort of like Endor, just to build up your army of these scout troopers. I think that would have been really cool for the time, but anyways, you get a sort of like bike build up from the backside, and you get these bar connections here on those tap pieces that allow you to have your minifigure hold on to the steering devices there, and you get the battle droid arm connection to one of those wheel connections down there. Get a little bit of posability from the front of it, but not a lot. I can show it a little bit better over here just because our figure isn't holding on. Get that bar connection there in order to swivel this back and forth. Get a little bit of movement, but I don't recommend doing that because this front part is very, very easy to break, especially with this set being more than 10 years old at this point. From the back, you get one of these little backpacks. You can also see the skis from the side, and from the very front, those flag pieces in brown to round out the build. I think these are really nice. I'm not sure how LEGO could improve these. I know that they most recently made some really nice speeder designs within an 18+ set, though still, as far as nostalgia goes, I don't think anything can beat these particular designs. These are always the designs that I'm gonna see for speeders, as much as I think they may be slightly oversized. One last thing that I have to say when it comes to these being included is the fact that you can have these as extra reinforcements coming in to try and protect the bunker, or bring in Princess Leia in order to recreate that chase scene. The Ewok glider comes in 2 sections, the first of which being the stand, which I think is a really great inclusion to add this, as if you want to display the set, this definitely helps. You may notice that we have these cylinder pieces here. That's to represent the bombs that are being dropped from this thing. You get one from the very back side. You just lift up this battle droid arm and it goes flying. One thing that I do find rather questionable is the fact that this moves a lot here with this Technic connection. I don't know if that's entirely intentional. Maybe it's to add a little bit more motion when flying this thing. I get these fishing pole pieces being used as the connection for these larger sail pieces being used for the glider. These sail pieces still remain exclusive to this set. These pieces right here being used for the fishing rods are probably the most annoying part of this set, just because they bend very, very easily with that softer plastic, which I mean is meant in order to help with this connection and all, but at the end of the day it just gets to the point where these are going to start bending downwards due to the weight and then eventually just become a problem. Now, in order to attach your minifigure to this glider, you get those bar connections, which you can put the hands on. And now, in order to put your character in the air, we get that studded connection right here. Works like a charm, this stand, in order to make sure that this doesn't fall down very easily. Though if you don't like having this on display and you're playing around with it, sorry, I decapitated that Ewok there, you can just remove him from the stand and just pretend to glide him around like such. I think it's really great that they give you both options. A stand if you don't want to have him just limp like that or something, I don't know. It just doesn't look very good if he's just trying to stand like that. Another weapon for the Ewoks, we have this Catapult, which launches these boulders represented by the 2x2 circular brick. If you don't know how this works, we actually get these little gears over here that you can spin and launch. If you lose any of these, you get some extras. You also get some clip piece connections with some more weapons for your Ewoks here, that bow and arrow, and also this very nice spear here. Otherwise, you get the dark green for the forest ground and also a little bit of leafiness. You'll also see that dark green return when it comes to the bottom of the bunker area, and you get the brown to represent the wood that the Ewoks used in the trees in order to create this catapult here. At the time, this was my first ever ATST build, and I think it's a really great one. I mean, as far as minifigure scale ATSTs go, this is certainly better than what we had gotten before that, I think. Maybe there was one in 2007, I don't own that one, I can't say for sure if that one's better. I know that there's a UCS one. I'm surprised LEGO hasn't come and made another UCS one at this point, considering we do have the AT-AT on the market right now. I think that would have been a really nice choice just to maybe even make the Hoth version of that. Oh wait, they did a playset version. Who knows how well that sold. But anyways, looking at this thing, I think it turned out really great. Get the movement in the legs there, you can move those back and forth. Or actually, if you hold on to the head and you spin this gear from the backside, you can make it walk like that. That's even better in my opinion, though still, it is kind of weird that it's like not touching the floor while it's walking. And as a whole, it just doesn't really work as well as it probably could have, and I know that they've made better options as far as allowing these things to walk in future. Looking at the feet designs, you get some slopes in order to round it out. You can see the gear system that works with the legs, allowing them to get that motion with that gear from the very back. Get a spinny plate from the very top for the head, so you do get somewhat of a 360 direction motion as much as it's not really supposed to be. You get the front cannons, which you can move up and down with the clip piece connection. Get some more weapons from the sides. And I also really love how they did the sides of this build in just the way that LEGO was able to capture a lot of the angles for this particular build. One more thing I have to say about this is the fact that it is also a flick-fire missile. LEGO loved those back in the day. And it goes out into the distance, never to be found again. You don't get any extras, so if you lose it, you lose it. From the back of the build, you can see that we get these two 2x2 circular tile prints, which are brand new for this particular set. I believe that they are recolored from the old light gray as we saw in the last ATSD, so that's also really interesting. From the very top, you get that escape hatch, which you can lift up in order to reveal a place where your minifigure can sit, though we actually can access that a lot better because we get that clip piece connection here that you can lift up. To get a better view inside, get the one seat, you can put Chewbacca in there, or actually can stand Chewbacca in here, because if you sit him, it's going to be a little annoying with the back of his head mold there. But this works very well because Chewbacca is supposed to be just standing up and peeking his head out of the top of this thing within the film, so I think it works fine. The build for the Endor Bunker itself isn't too complex. I mean, it's really interesting to see some of the building techniques, especially when it comes to like the side panels of the wall, which are removable. So you can completely remove these. They're the same exact build all around the set. And they are loose for one reason in particular, and that is because you can completely blow it up, which I'll be showing at the end because I don't want to do that right now. At the base, you'll see the dark green and a little bit of leaves and shrubbery also from the top of the build. Get that light gray, dark gray, black color scheme that you know and love from LEGO Star Wars. And I'm just going to spin us 360 just so then you can take a look all around. You get the interior. And some building on the side as well, which I guess is a nice touch. Now on to the interior of the build. In order to actually separate this, you gotta make sure that you hold on up here in order to swing out these side portions, which are connected using a clip piece connection and a bark connection in order to strengthen it a little bit, which I guess is nice. You get those hinge plates from the very bottom. And swinging this out, you do get a little bit more room within the interior of the build. You may notice that we have a gear system from the back here. This is allowing you to open and close the front doors. I'll show that from the other side as well. From this first side, we get one of those computer controls, which I guess lines up with the ones in the center there. You get the same exact thing from the other side, which I'll show in a second. You get some extra guns that you can use with your bad guys. As I said, same thing from this side when it comes to those extra guns, and that control panel that lines up with the rest of them over here. And that brings me to the one part of this set that I don't really know too much about, though I believe this is supposed to be the area where they actually like bomb it in order to like make it explode, or maybe these might even just be some of the bombs up here, these things, I don't know. I know that there's like some sort of like long hallway or something. I don't know. Really, my only reference to this in my mind at the moment is seeing it from the LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga video game. That's probably the one thing that comes to mind most when it comes to this design. Just remember playing that scene within that video game. And as a kid, getting this in LEGO form was just so cool. Back to the front side, you may notice when you actually bring these two back sections forward that it makes an even cooler display for this bunker. It makes it look so much bigger than it actually is. It is a little disappointing that it isn't fully enclosed. I think it would have been really cool if it was, but yeah, still really interesting how they could make this look even better like that, even though it probably isn't as entirely accurate. Now, bringing us right over the top of this build, I did want to point out those prints on those slope pieces for the control panels. As I said, those two other ones from each side help to round out this area. Get some seats on some spinny plates so you can spin those round in circles as a nice spot in order to sit your Imperial Trooper. Now, the last play feature that I wanted to show off when it comes to this design is how you can explode the bunker. In order to do that, you simply just press down on these two dish pieces as such. Now, you may notice one of these didn't actually launch off with the others, which is a little annoying. Sometimes that'll happen. And you'll see within, we actually get these spring pieces that allow you to knock these off. You can put them back into place and you'll see that that dish piece lifts up again. And that's how that function works. So overall, for $100, this set gave you a whole lot more than what you would get for $100 in LEGO Star Wars today. The minifigure selection, I think, is a really solid selection for the time period. I mean, they're outdated, but I mean, look at the amount of figures that you get for $100 here compared to, say, a $100 set today. It's just so amazing. Also, the amount of stuff that they were able to pack in this set, the speeder bikes, the AT-ST, and even just some of the other weapons for the Ewoks there in addition to the build for the bunker. If they were able to do this now, I'd be so surprised if they could make like a $150 set of this today, the same exact builds and everything, but I am kind of concerned to see if they do eventually remake this set, will it have all the stuff you see here or will they skimp out? I think this is a really great display set as well, especially with that 2013 Ewok village. I think that is my favorite thing to display this set with, and I just think that it would be really great to see what LEGO could do with this now, but still, I don't think they could make anything any better than they did here. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, what your thoughts are on this set. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so every time I upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!